Have you ever wondered how Amish families eat so well while spending so little? Their secret? It's not a mystery ingredient or some fancy trick. It's simple, homemade food, backed by traditions that go back hundreds of years. Let's dive into the timeless meals and smart kitchen hacks that help them turn basic, cheap ingredients into delicious, satisfying feasts. No frills, just smart living, old-school wisdom, and serious flavour. 1. Amish overnight oats. While the rest of us are spending $4 on a tiny yogurt and granola cup, the Amish are waking up to a big bowl of overnight oats that costs less than 50 cents for the whole family. It's super simple. Mix rolled oats with milk or water, toss in whatever fruit is cheap or in season, and let it sit overnight. That's it. No cooking, no fuss. Why do they love it? It keeps you full for hours, just what a farmer needs before heading out to milk 12 cows before sunrise. One man who tried it said he felt robbed after realizing how much he'd overpaid for breakfast his whole life. 2. Amish Friendship Bread Starter. The Amish save big by skipping the grocery store's yeast aisle entirely. Instead, they use something called a friendship bread starter, a living dough that keeps growing and giving, like sourdough but sweeter. This little jar of flour, sugar, and milk gets fed every few days and passed around like a family heirloom. Some Amish communities have starters that have been alive for over 150 years. Besides being practical, it's a symbol of community, shared among neighbours, handed down through generations, and full of meaning. And yes, it makes the fluffiest bread you'll ever eat. 3. Farm fresh egg casserole. Think eggs are expensive? Not if you're Amish. They stretch eggs by mixing them with fresh vegetables straight from the garden. Zucchini, peppers, onions, you name it. Prepared the night before and baked in the morning, this dish is perfect for big families and early mornings. During peak season, one egg can help feed 2 people. And on farms with just 20 hens, they make enough eggs for 140 casseroles, plenty for a whole church district's Sunday breakfast. 4. Cornmeal mush. You'd be amazed what the Amish can do with a bag of cornmeal. First night, soft, warm porridge. Next morning, leftover slices pan-fried in cast iron until golden and crispy. It's filling, hearty, and costs just a few cents per serving. Fun fact: cast iron adds a bit of iron to your diet, free of charge. One Amish elder joked he's eaten cornmeal mush over 15,000 times, and he still hasn't gotten sick of it. 5. Clean out the fridge breakfast pie. Nothing goes to waste in an Amish kitchen. Leftovers? They get transformed into a delicious breakfast pie using a simple egg base. Got leftover potatoes, veggies, or meat? Throw it in. Every season brings different ingredients: tomatoes and squash in the summer, root veggies in the winter. One thrifty Amish mum claimed she fed a family of 8 for a whole month without grocery shopping, just by mastering this dish. 6. No knead bread. No kneading, no fuss, all flavour. Who needs a bakery when bread basically bakes itself? This clever Amish recipe skips kneading altogether. Just mix, let it rise slowly, and bake. No fancy machines needed. Just time, patience, and a warm kitchen. Homemade bread costs about 80 cents a loaf, compared to $4 at the store. That's over $2,600 saved per year for a family of 6. And the best part? The smell. Nothing beats the scent of fresh bread filling the house. 7. Amish dinner. Rolls boiled potatoes? Great, but don't throw out the water. Amish bakers discovered that potato water makes their rolls softer and fluffier. It's an old trick from the Depression era, when milk was expensive and hard to get. Lancaster County Amish like theirs a little sweet. Indiana Amish? More savoury with herbs. Either way, these rolls cost a fraction of store-bought ones and taste twice as good. 8. Amish sourdough bread. Forget buying yeast, ever again. Amish sourdough uses a self-sustaining starter that some families have kept alive for 7 generations. It's not just tradition, it's a financial strategy. Sourdough also makes nutrients in bread easier to absorb, something Amish families understood before science caught up. One legendary Amish starter is so old it could have voted in 3 elections. 9. Oatmeal bread oats aren't just for breakfast. Amish bakers mix them into bread dough to save on flour and boost nutrition. During wartime rationing, this trick kept communities fed. And guess what? Oats lower cholesterol, up to 23% according to studies. So not only is this bread cheaper, it's healthier than most store-bought stuff. 10. The Perpetual soup pot. Imagine a pot on the stove that never really goes empty. That's the Perpetual soup pot, an Amish tradition where leftovers, scraps, and whatever's on hand go into the soup daily. It's sustainable, filling, and uses less fuel than cooking from scratch every day. Some pots simmer for days at a time, changing flavour with each addition. It's the ultimate nothing wasted meal, and it warms the soul as much as the stomach. 11. The Perpetual soup pot. Imagine a soup pot that never empties. Amish families keep their soup pot simmering for over 30 days, adding fresh vegetables and scraps every day. The base becomes richer and more flavourful with time. In cold Lancaster County winters, this means hot, hearty meals that warm both body and soul. Sometimes it's thick with root vegetables, other times lighter with fresh summer garden veggies. This tradition saves fuel, cuts waste, and provides steady nourishment through the harshest months. 12. Navy bean soup. Navy beans are a favourite because they're packed with protein, but cost only 1/5 the price of meat. Different Amish communities grow their own unique bean varieties that thrive in local climates, from Pennsylvania's humid fields to drier Midwestern farms. This soup is perfect on laundry day when everyone is busy. Just set it to simmer and let it cook while you work. Fresh herbs from the garden add flavour without extra cost, turning simple beans into a rich, satisfying meal. 13. Creamy potato soup. Without cream. Creamy soups usually mean dairy, right? Not for the Amish. They use a clever trick from Lancaster kitchens, cooking potatoes slowly to release natural starch, making the soup thick and creamy without any cream. Plus, they use second-grade potatoes, those slightly imperfect spuds that supermarkets often reject but taste just as good and cost much less. A cast-iron pot adds even more flavour, making this humble soup a luxurious treat that's easy on the budget. 14. Chicken corn soup. The Amish waste nothing, especially when it comes to their chickens. Feet and necks aren't thrown away. They're simmered into rich broth full of gelatin, which is great for joint and gut health. Dried corn, preserved using old-fashioned Amish methods, adds natural sweetness and texture you won't find in frozen corn. This soup isn't just food, it's community. Families earn shares of the soup by helping each other during harvest, and giant batches, sometimes over 30 gallons, feed hundreds at traditional Amish weddings. 15. Beef bone broth. Amish families take every part of the animal seriously. Bones, joints, and tough meat bits get slowly simmered into nutrient-rich broth that's packed with health benefits. They use a vinegar trick to pull more minerals out of the bones, turning simple scraps into a powerful tonic for joints and digestion. This broth tradition dates back generations, long before bone broth became trendy, and is a key to staying healthy without spending on fancy supplements. 16. Classic Amish casserole. The Amish casserole is a meal planning superstar. It's made from 3 parts: starch, protein, and vegetables, combined in countless ways to suit what's available and keep costs low. Slow cooking means flavour develops over time, and moms can multitask around the kitchen. These casseroles are also community lifelines. When new mothers need support, neighbours bring casseroles, over 250 exchanged per year in some communities. 17. Chicken and dumplings. Don't underestimate old hens. When chickens are too old for commercial sale, the Amish turn them into tender chicken and dumplings, a dish that captures every drop of flavour. The rich broth turns simple flour dumplings into soft pillows full of taste. This meal feeds barn-raising crews working hard on the farm. Imagine feeding 40 workers with 8 hens and 15 pounds of dumpling dough, costing about the same as ordering 2 pizzas. 18. Ground beef stretcher. 1 pound of ground beef feeding twice as many people? That's an Amish classic. By slow cooking beef with oats or oatmeal, the meat juices soak into the oats, stretching protein without losing taste or texture. This trick, found in old community cookbooks, helps families get the most from expensive meat and works just as well with venison from hunting season. 19. Ham and beans. Holiday hams get plenty of mileage in Amish kitchens. After a big meal, the leftover ham bone is simmered with dried beans, preserved without electricity in cool root cellars, creating multiple meals from one purchase. This recipe shows Amish wisdom. What looks like scarcity is really abundance when you know how to use it. 20. Poor man's steak. In the 1920s, during hard times, Amish cooks developed special tenderizing methods that made ground beef taste like a fancy steak. This recipe is still a favourite, a budget-friendly comfort food that's actually higher in minerals than expensive cuts. 7 versions of this dish were in an Amish community cookbook from 1928, showing how families shared recipes to stretch food dollars. 21st, Dutch potato filling leftover bread? Don't throw it out! Amish cooks mix stale bread with potatoes, herbs like thyme, parsley, and sage, passed down from European ancestors, and turn it into a tasty side dish. This humble recipe is a staple at Sunday dinners after church, a perfect example of Amish waste not, want not values turning scraps into something special. The Amish kitchen teaches us a powerful lesson. Smart cooking and community care turn even the simplest ingredients into meals full of love, nutrition, and meaning. No fancy gadgets needed, just tradition, patience, and respect for what you have. 22 Amish baked beans. Long, slow cooking turns cheap dried beans into a smoky, rich delicacy. Amish ovens, fired by wood, add a flavour modern kitchens can't match. These beans are staples at community gatherings like barn raisings or quilt-making frolics, feeding many hungry hands without stretching resources. Across the country, recipes change. Ohio favours molasses. Indiana leans on brown sugar, showcasing local tastes and traditions. One Amish cook joked he always wins the baked bean contest because he has all day to perfect his recipe, while others rush. 23 Red beet eggs. Amish cooks use natural beet juice to dye hard-boiled eggs a vibrant red. No artificial colours here. This pickling method keeps eggs fresh for weeks without refrigeration, vital for homesteads off the grid. These eggs are a highlight of Pennsylvania Amish Easter celebrations and a perfect example of culinary wisdom passed mother to daughter. Science confirms beet pigments add antioxidants, making these eggs both beautiful and healthy. 24 Pepper cabbage raw. Spicy pepper cabbage preserves nutrients and saves cooking fuel. 2 priorities in Amish homes. Made in fall when cabbage is at its peak, it's a simple but elegant side dish that keeps well for months. Studies link frequent fermented cabbage consumption to fewer digestive problems among the Amish compared to the general public. 25 Sweet and sour green beans. When green beans abound in summer, the Amish quick pickle them into tangy, sweet and sour sides that brighten winter meals. No elaborate canning setups needed, just vinegar, sugar, and perfect timing. The recipe's so popular that Amish farmers grow lots of green beans just to make it, and neighbours beg for jars all winter long. 26. Amish chow 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 uses late-season leftover veggies, sometimes up to 14 kinds, to make a colourful, nutritious relish. Lancaster County prefers sweeter versions, while Midwestern Amish like them spicier, showing how recipes evolve regionally. Community canning days turn this huge job into a social event, with families working together to process hundreds of jars. 27. Canned tomatoes. Tomato preserving is an art. Amish gardeners watch closely for the exact weeks in August when tomatoes are perfectly sweet and acidic. Families can up to 52 to 78 quarts of canned tomatoes yearly, enough to enjoy a quart every few days through winter. This precise timing and method are passed down carefully to avoid spoilage and maintain flavour. 28-day sweet pickles. Amish pickles soak in brine for a full week, creating crisp, complex flavours you just can't rush. This process is a family affair, shared among grandmothers, mothers and daughters, teaching patience and cooperation. Amish pickles spend their time in a brine spa, a lesson in patience and care baked into daily life. 30. Apple butter. Apple butter is a labour of love, slow cooked until the natural sugars caramelise, no extra sweeteners needed. Community apple butter days turn work into a festive gathering, with multiple stirrers taking shifts around giant copper kettles. Special wooden paddles, worn smooth over decades, remind everyone that these tools carry family stories and traditions. 31. Corn relish. Amish cooks know exactly when corn is perfect for relish, just before sugars turn to starch. Husking bees become lively social events where neighbours help process the harvest together. This corn relish uses less sugar than English versions, balancing sweetness and tanginess, and has won county fair prizes for its flavour. 32. Shuffly pie. Shuffly pie's main ingredient is molasses, the cheapest sweetener historically available to Amish families. Its name comes from a quirky kitchen problem. The sweet filling attracted flies before screens were common, so cooks kept shooing flies while it cooled. Unlike fancy desserts, shuffly pie is a breakfast staple, giving energy for farm chores with affordable ingredients. 33. Amish sugar cookies. Basic pantry staples, flour, sugar, fat, become delicate, sweet treats that stretch resources without buying special ingredients. These cookies developed during times of sugar rationing, maximising sweetness with minimal sugar. A smart economy born of necessity. At community gatherings, family-specific decorative marks on cookies help identify their makers, showing pride and tradition. Sugar cookies are often the very first baking lesson for Amish children, teaching practical kitchen skills while making something everyone loves. 34. Whoopie pies found in Amish bakeries across communities. Amish whoopie pies contain far less sugar than typical American desserts, reflecting the cultural value of moderation. Their handy sandwich form made them perfect for farmers' field lunches, no utensils needed. Making whoopie pies is often a multi-generational social event, with family members assembling cakes and fillings together. And Amish versions are bigger, averaging 3.5 inches, showing hospitality even in dessert size. 35. Applesauce cake. Using oil instead of butter saves money, since dairy is often sold rather than used at home. This moist cake became popular when ovens replaced hearth cooking in the late 1800s, revolutionising Amish baking traditions. Applesauce cake competitions highlight using fresh, seasonal ingredients. Apples harvested right from local orchards in peak fall. 36. Oatmeal pie. A clever substitute for expensive pecan pie, oatmeal pie costs only a quarter as much. With at least 12 documented variations across Amish settlements, this pie uses local sweeteners, sorghum molasses, maple syrup, or honey, reflecting regional tastes and resources. 37 Amish meadow tea. Harvesting wild mint costs nothing and connects Amish children with nature and tradition. Served often during haymaking and barn raising, this cooling drink refreshes hard-working farmers through hot summer days. The mint always grows back, making it a renewable gift that supports both economy and community. 38 homemade root beer in Amish communities is naturally fermented using just molasses, roots, and water. This gentle carbonation method reflects Amish simplicity and frugality, producing a special occasion drink for weddings and celebrations. Ingredients like sassafras and wintergreen add flavour and traditional health benefits, linking food and folk medicine. Timing is crucial. Wedding root beer begins fermenting a week before, reaching perfect fizz right on the ceremony day. 39 Hot chocolate mix bulk made hot chocolate costs pennies per serving, far less than commercial packets, and reduces packaging waste. Mixed fresh each morning with fresh milk from dairy chores, this warming drink is a winter favourite, especially after cold barn chores. Families pass down recipe variations reflecting European heritage. Some add cinnamon, nutmeg, or vanilla for unique flavours. 40 Dandelion wine, turning weeds into wealth. What many see as yard pests, Amish see as free ingredients for springtime tonic wine. Mildly alcoholic and traditionally used to boost vitality, dandelion wine ties folk health wisdom with practical thrift. Children often learn to harvest dandelions, a hands-on lesson in plant knowledge and valuing nature's gifts. These 40 recipes show that simple ingredients, smart techniques, and resourceful minds create delicious meals without breaking the bank. With Amish methods, economical cooking leads to the most memorable, meaningful food. In every Amish kitchen, simplicity meets ingenuity. These timeless recipes aren't just about cutting costs. They're about building stronger communities, teaching essential skills, and finding joy in what's already around you. Whether it's homemade mayo or celebration roast, each dish carries generations of wisdom and care. You don't need expensive ingredients or fancy gadgets to make meals that nourish both body and soul. By embracing these methods, you'll stretch your budget, reduce waste, and reconnect with the true heart of cooking, purpose, and people. If you found inspiration in these humble yet powerful traditions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves food with meaning. Want more budget-friendly recipes and historical food wisdom? Comment below with what you'd like to explore next. We've got plenty more Amish secrets to uncover.